One of the issues that I'm not sure you focused on today, maybe you have, but is climate change. As we look at so many of our poorest countries are going to be the ones on the front lines with their families, their women, their children, that will be the immediate victims if we don't do anything about climate change. I took a trip through Asia that I will never forget with Senator McCain, and we went to Vietnam and actually visited the prison where he had been held for 5.5 years. It was interesting just to see him walk around the streets of Vietnam, how the people are so respectful of him since he's come back time and time again to try to improve relations with that country. And we met with the Prime Minister of Vietnam, and the first issue he raised was climate change, because he said that Vietnam is one of the top 5 countries that is most in danger of the rising seas. I can tell you in my home state, a little different. We're worrying about decreasing lake levels in Lake Superior. We're worrying about the destruction of our wetlands. We're worried about the ice fishing houses not being able to go out on time. It's not exactly the same concern, but people are starting to see the problems all over this world. I went to Greenland with Senator Boxer and saw firsthand the water coming off these gigantic icebergs like spigots. It's considered the canary in the coal mine for climate change. Homes that used to have ice in front of them now are growing potatoes. The world is changing there literally daily, and it is women and children that will be on the front end of this. The other piece of this that I want you to keep in mind as we work on our climate change bill, and it goes through Congress, I'm on the Environmental Committee. I think we have, with the President's support, a very good opportunity to get something done this year. But the last thing I'd leave you with is just the plight of women and children across this country. I'm very hopeful with our new Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, that we have some amazing opportunities here. I actually just got off the phone with the Swiss ambassador as we're trying to release a woman journalist in Iran who's been held now, has just gotten an 8-year sentence, which is outrageous. She was doing nothing but buying a bottle of wine. We seem to see women getting this kind of treatment in Burma and elsewhere all over this world. I never thought I could cry anymore from a newspaper story until one day I read that story of those girls going to school in Afghanistan and getting acid thrown in their face. All they were trying to do is to go to school. So we know there is more work to be done. But I can tell you, I see Jeanne Shaheen here, one of our great new senators. There is a new spirit in Congress, a can-do attitude. Now, I know is only here for 2 years, so I can't talk about the old days, but a can-do attitude that we haven't seen, many of the old-timers tell me, for many, many years. So things are moving. So I want to thank you for inviting me. I do want to tell you that I'm devoted to doing something about this. I'll end with the story that Senator Durbin told on the Senate floor a few months ago, and it's about the movie Schindler's List, which some of you have maybe seen. And at the very end of the movie, the people who Schindler has saved, and as you remember, the actual story was that he at first thought he could make some money off the war, and he saw this as a way to make profit, and then he saw the horror of the Holocaust. And he started taking in Jewish families and citizens, giving them jobs in his factories, basically hiding them. And at the very end of the movie, the people whose lives he saved gather together, and they collect little bits of gold wherever they can find them, and they make a ring for him, and they give it to him. And he gets that ring, and then he just breaks down in tears as he says, "But I could have done more. I could have done so much more." Well, I don't think anyone from CARE is going to have to say this, because you're all here today, sitting here in this room when you could be doing a lot of other things, because you don't want to say at the end of your life, "I could have done more, I could have done so much more," nor do we want to say that in the halls of Congress. This is an amazing opportunity we have right now with this new president to reach out, and we don't want to lose that opportunity. I don't want to lose it. So thank you for what you're doing. Get to work. Do whatever your leaders tell you. Go out there and get the work done. Thank you.